We all hit slumps. We slack off. We run low on one of our most critical resources, our motivation. But what if I told you that every single day you're giving away that resource, you're giving away your motivation without even realizing it? It's happening mindlessly on autopilot, and it's holding you back and keeping you stuck. The secret to breaking out of this cycle? It's dopamine. It's the neurotransmitter responsible for your motivation. It's what gets you moving, keeps you focused, and pushes you to take action. When you're feeling sluggish, unmotivated, or stuck in a rut, chances are your dopamine levels are extremely low. And that's probably because you've given away your supply by doom scrolling or seeking momentary pleasure through other mindless activities. So how do you fix it? In this video, I'll share 3 powerful ways to rebuild your dopamine, boost your motivation, and unlock peak productivity. And if you stick around, you'll get a bonus tip at the very end. So let's just get right into it. 1. Every single morning, do a 30-minute phone fast. Something that should be common knowledge but isn't is how our dopamine levels are slowly and naturally rising in our sleep. This gradual buildup of dopamine helps us feel motivated and productive throughout our day. But what do most of us do first thing in the morning? We grab our phones. That's exactly where the problem starts. The moment you check your phone, your brain anticipates a dopamine hit. Then once you start scrolling, there's an instant flood of dopamine into your brain. And that's obviously followed by an equally fast crash. Your brain tries to then compensate for that increase in dopamine by reducing dopamine levels in your brain, leaving you feeling drained before your day even begins. Instead of wasting this valuable dopamine reserve on your phone, try delaying your screen time for just 30 minutes before you wake up. I've been doing it recently, and I definitely can say I've noticed the difference. The small change will help you start your day feeling balanced, rather than crashing from a dopamine overload. Plus, proving to yourself that you can resist the urge to check your phone first thing in the morning builds discipline, making it easier to resist other distractions throughout your day. 2. Have discipline around the house. Do hard things. Let me give you a great example. Changing your bedding. We all hate this activity. Trust me, I hate it too. Taking the sheets off your bed and your duvet and your pillows, carrying it all down to the washing machine, loading it in, waiting 40 minutes for it to wash, then transferring it to the dryer, waiting 40 minutes for it to dry, then taking it out of the dryer and rebuttoning everything, putting all your sheets back on. It sucks. All of this is boring. We all dislike this activity. But eventually we get into our bed at night and we feel the freshly washed sheets on our skin. And we can all agree it's like the best feeling. It feels so good to get into a freshly washed bed. It's rewarding and it's relaxing. You never have the reflection once you get into bed, gosh, I wish I never spent the time washing my sheets today. Or I'm so annoyed I took the time and wasted time washing my sheets. Compare that to mindlessly scrolling on social media. The dopamine spike from scrolling feels good in the moment, but it doesn't leave you with a sense of accomplishment. Your brain has this built-in guidance system, showing you exactly what is and what is not good for you. If you start viewing everyday chores like emptying the dishwasher, taking out the trash, changing your bedding, not as burdens, but as ways to naturally elevate your dopamine levels and stay motivated throughout your day, they become much easier to do. 3. And then after this is the bonus. Switch up the content you consume before you go to bed. Let's be real and admit that a lot of us scroll on our phones before bed. Heck, I love opening my phone, watching a few videos before bed with Emma, and just chilling. Shutting our brains off sometimes feels good. But here's the catch. Short form content is a guaranteed dopamine dump. The quick, repetitive nature of scrolling gives an instant dopamine spike, an intense one too, which your brain then has to try and rebalance while you're sleeping, rather than naturally building up your dopamine levels. So this results in a depletion of your dopamine and thus feeling drained the next day. And when you wake up with less dopamine than you would have had if you didn't scroll on your phone, you have less willpower for the harder tasks throughout your day. Now that does not mean you have to completely cut out screen time before going to bed. But what you watch actually matters. Opt for content with a slower dopamine release, like a podcast or a longer form TV show, instead of rapid fire short videos. This simple shift can maintain your dopamine balance and set you up for a motivated morning. Okay, now here comes the bonus tip. And it's not really a change that you can make, but it is equally as important. Never have judgment. Don't judge yourself. Dopamine is a natural part of how our brains function. We've been wired to seek it out. The problem isn't that we crave dopamine, it's that we live in a world where dopamine hits can be found everywhere. Rather than judging yourself for these habits, ask yourself, is this really the path I want to take? Is this bringing me long-term happiness and fulfillment, or just momentary pleasure? The goal isn't to eliminate dopamine, it's to use it wisely. When you stop beating yourself up and start making intentional choices, you take control of your motivation, your discipline, and your overall well-being. And that's just what I'm trying to help you guys to do. I hope these 3 changes and the extra bonus tip were helpful and will help you restore your dopamine balance and levels. I know that these 3 changes will really help you gain back your motivation and your willpower. I have definitely experienced the first-hand benefits, and I wouldn't share it with you guys if I didn't think it could help you too. Which tip are you going to try first? What I love about these tips is it requires no additional time. It's just a substitute for what you're already doing. Leave a comment down below about which tip you're going to try first, and please give this a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're able to find the smallest of takeaways given the lifestyle that you live and the conditions that you face. As a reminder, modifications of any of this advice is completely okay. You're doing something that you can do, and that is something that you should be really proud of. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Peace.